This is Advanced Math 11.6 homework questions, number 35. There was a request for this one, so I'm going to go through and go over it now. And this one is a bit harder than the other ones, so you want to make sure you are ready to work this out. Okay. So we have our foci is plus or minus 8, 0 plus or minus 8, and these are the foci. And we can tell the center is at the origin. It also tells us that in the book for this section that the center is at the origin, but we can tell that just from the given information as well. Okay, so I also know, I don't know where exactly my graphs are, but I know they're opening up and down. I know that because they always go in the direction of the foci, and if the foci are up and down, then my graph's opening up and down, which means the y is coming first. And since my center is 0, 0, it's going to be y squared minus x squared, and then I will fill my letters in accordingly. Okay, what do we have here? We know the length of C is 8. Okay, we also know that the slope is plus or minus 4. Okay, so we don't know what A and B are, but we know that when we do B over A, because that's what the slope is, when we do the B over A, it's once I reduce that fraction, it's going to be 4. I know that. So that's kind of like a ratio. I'm going to do that now. B over A equals 4. B over A equals 4. I don't know what B is. B and A are. I don't know what they are, but I know when I reduce them, when I do B over A and reduce, I get 4. The ratio is 4. So I am going to multiply both sides by A to get B by itself. B equals 4A. Now, why do I need that? Because I'm looking for A and B. The only other place I can find it is using my C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Okay, so I know B equals 4 times the length of A. So B is 4 times as big as A. Okay, C, I know C is 8, so I'm going to do 8 squared equals A squared plus, I don't know B, but I know it's 4 times as big as A, so I'm going to put 4A squared. Again, this one is a bit more complicated. Okay, so what do I have? I have 8 squared equals A squared plus, in the place of B, I put in 4A, and I'm squaring it. So 64 equals A squared plus 16A squared. 64 equals 17A squared. A squared equals 64 over 17. So I can put that right in there. I'm just going to rewrite it. 64 over 17, and A squared is what I was looking for. I will fix that so it's not a fraction within a fraction, but I'm going to fix it later. Right now I'm going to try to find the B squared. Okay, so how do I find the B squared? I'm going to plug it right in here. I know that B equals 4A. I'm going to go ahead and square both sides because I'm looking for B squared. If B equals 4A, then B squared equals 16A squared. I'm just squaring both sides. If B equals 4A, then B squared equals 16A squared. So B squared equals 16A squared. A squared is 64 over 17. The 16 and the 17 don't reduce. So I am going to do 64 times 16. And that gives me 1,024. So B squared equals 1,024 over 17. B squared. So I have my A squared is 64 over 17. My B squared is 1,024 over 17. 1,024 over 17. Okay, so I want to get rid of the fractions within a fraction, so I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. I'm going to multiply y squared by the reciprocal of the denominator, giving me 17y squared over 1,024 minus 17x squared over 64 equals 1. Now, personally, I would have left my answer like this. I write it like this because this is the way the book writes it, so any of you checking your book answer, if I were just asking for the equation, this is fine. But if I'm asking you to graph it, which I would never do on a problem like this, I would write it like this because then you can find what your A value is, what your B value is, and graph it. Okay, so either one of these is okay. This is the way the book writes it. I would accept it this way. Just know they are the same thing. All right, I know it's a bit crazy. That is it for this problem.